Hello Harry Potter fans, Peter Kenneth here. Welcome back to the Potter Collector channel, where we are a community of collectors. Today we are going to look at the original 6 dolls from Mattel, the Harry Potter dolls from Mattel, as well as the 2 Quidditch dolls, Harry and Draco. Mattel sent the entire line for me to review for you guys. They also sent a note that says, "Hi Peter, we hope you enjoy these Harry Potter Quidditch dolls as well as the others. Thanks for all of your support." From the Mattel influencer team. We're gonna go through these fairly quickly because there are a lot of them, but let's start with the trio. We'll start with Harry Potter himself because without Harry, there would be no story. If we're looking at the box, we have a young Harry, so Harry from year 1, the new Wizarding World branding. On the back, it shows the doll as well as a little bit about Harry, as well as the additional dolls that you can purchase. We have Harry's robe here that I'm taking out right now. Okay, look at this little tiny robe right here with the little Gryffindor crest on the front. Now, as you may know, Mattel is the maker of Barbie, so I call these Harry Potter Barbies because they kind of look like Barbies. Here is Harry without his robe on. This looks like year 1 Harry, but his wand is from year 3 through 7 when it comes to the movies. They switched his wand design, but he has his black trousers as well as sneakers and his Gryffindor jumper. Here he is with his robe on. It's a little bit stiff, but I feel like if you were to play with it or have it kind of sitting out in the air, it would loosen up a little bit. His glasses are held on with a rubber band on the back, and there's a little connector on the wand itself that you wrap around the rubber band so that he can hold his wand. Oh, actually no, you put it on his thumb. There's a little connector that you can attach to his thumb so that the wand doesn't fall out. So if you wanted to display these, they could have their wands in their hand. Let's open up the rest of the trio. Same box design for Hermione and Ron, the front, and on the back it shows the other options for characters that you can purchase, as well as a little bit of information about Ron and Hermione. Hermione's hand is kind of terrifying. It almost looks like she's like a witch. Well, she is a witch, but like a bad witch, like a hag sort of a witch. It's all like, meh. The design of that is odd. Multiple articulation points I'm finding. 2 in the arms, so 1 in the shoulder, as well as the elbow area. You can position her hand in any way. The heads will rotate, as well as look up and down a little bit. Their waist bends, as well as their knees, so you can make it look like they're in a sitting position. I imagine if you were to display these, you could create some really cool scenes from the Harry Potter series. Her wand is also from year 3, so that's a little mistake on Mattel's part. Maybe the licensing agreement said that they had to use that particular wand, but when it comes to the wands, they are not true to the movie that these characters are representing, based on their age as well as the sweaters that they are wearing. Her hand creeps me out a little bit. Next up we have Ron, and this is very interesting. So this is his original wand, but it's his broken wand, which would mean that these are from year 2. So these are characters from year 2, which would make sense because there's a Ginny Weasley doll, and Ginny of course goes to Hogwarts during year 2. So Ron has his broken wand wrapped up here where it broke after flying and landing into the Whomping Willow. Here is Mr. Ron Weasley. We have the trio here. They're actually fun. If this is something that you enjoy, that you like creating scenes from the Harry Potter movies, these would be fun to play around with and give you the opportunity to do that. Let's stick with the student theme and open up Ginny first. Once again, front of the box, back of the box. Talks a little bit about Ginny Weasley. I'll actually read hers. It says, Ginny Weasley is Ron Weasley's younger sister and fellow Gryffindor. During her first year, she falls victim to Tom Riddle's diary and falls under the control of the Dark Lord. Ginny, like Hermione, you can see her articulation points on her knees. And she also has the same hand as Hermione. That's really weird. So it looks like they just put a different head on top of the doll. So these are identical except for the head. The same is true for Ron and Harry. Here we have Ginny Weasley. She has straight hair as opposed to the bushy curly hair on Hermione. She looks more like an older Ginny as opposed to a year 1 student. So her face doesn't quite fit with the whole feel of the Chamber of Secrets set that Mattel has created here, but still a pretty darn good representation of Bonnie Wright, who's the actress who plays Ginny Weasley, in Barbie form. Next up are professors. Professors, we have Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore and Professor Minerva McGonagall, played by Maggie Smith and Richard Harris. On the front we have the characters, and then on the back we have information about the characters as well as the other dolls that you can purchase. Albus Dumbledore is the wise headmaster of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Known to be the only wizard of whom Lord Voldemort is frightened, Dumbledore is a source of great comfort to Harry and crucial in his quest to destroy the Dark Lord. Professor McGonagall's description says, Minerva McGonagall is the deputy headmistress of Hogwarts, head of Gryffindor House, and teaches Transfiguration. Tough and intelligent, Professor McGonagall expects the best out of her students, but proves to be a strong ally for Harry. When it comes to costuming, these reign supreme compared to the students, which actually look great, the Hogwarts robes over there. But these are a lot more detailed. Let's take a look at her hat real quick. We have her witch's hat with the feathers. I wish that the feathers were a different color. They could have done a quick painting job on the feathers to separate them a little bit from the black hat itself. Look at those fancy boots right there. And unlike the other dolls, her hand is covered in plastic, so she gets extra treatment, as well as Dumbledore. He's also covered in plastic. But her wand is authentic to Professor McGonagall's wand in the movies. She has her brooch on the front, a very stern look. She doesn't really look like Professor McGonagall. They could have done a lot better with the hair color, but you're not going to really see the hair color a lot because you're going to have the hat on top of her head. And then she looks a little bit more like Professor McGonagall, but still her face just, it doesn't read Professor McGonagall. Her robes are authentic to movies 1 and 2, the emerald green color with this patterned trim, as well as her hat and brooch. All of the pieces are connected, so her kind of underdress here is connected to the robe, so you couldn't take off the robe itself and just display her with the black dress underneath it. For Professor Dumbledore, let's take off the plastic on his arms and feet. He features the Elder Wand, which is the wand that Dumbledore would have had. We never see Dumbledore's wand in Chamber of Secrets or Philosopher's Stone. I'm actually gonna take it off because we don't see him with the Elder Wand, so it's not true to the movies. And like Professor McGonagall, his underrobe is connected to his outer robe, so you couldn't display him with just the underrobe on. The outer robe is a little bit disappointing. It's a solid color. We know that Dumbledore's robes are patterned. It's just a solid color, which is okay. His glasses are connected like Harry's via a rubber band. Whoa, he's got some long boots. Look at that. I wonder if Richard Harris actually wore these tall boots. He has a belt underneath the robe, the main robe. His hair actually doesn't look too bad for what this is, for being the doll. It's the length that it should be for Dumbledore. His beard is molded, so it's just a solid plastic piece that moves along with the head. His wrists and elbow and shoulders all articulate, as well as his knees and hips like the other dolls. And now a short reenactment of the first scene of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I should have known that you would be here, Professor McGonagall.
Good evening, Professor Dumbledore. Are the rumors true, Albus?
I'm afraid so, Professor. The good and the bad.
And the boy?
Hagrid's bringing him.
You think it wise to trust Hagrid with something as important as this?
Professor, I would trust Hagrid with my life. End scene. Let's open up the last two, which is the second release, where we have the Quidditch Harry and the Quidditch Draco. Each of them come with this little tiny golden snitch, which is on this movable display, so it looks like the snitch is fluttering around. Draco, of course, comes with a Nimbus 2001, because his father can afford the best. But at least we know from Hermione that none of the Gryffindor team had to buy their way in. They got in on pure talent. No one asked your opinion, you filthy little mudblood. You'll pay for that one, Malfoy. Eat slugs! Let's take a look at the broomstick first. The top says Nimbus 2001. I wish that this was painted silver, similar to Professor McGonagall's feather on her hat. But the rest of the broom is a good representation of a Nimbus 2001. The face mold is actually pretty darn good. It looks very similar to Tom Felton in Chamber of Secrets. He has his knee pads and elbow pads on, as well as his tan corduroy pants, his Quidditch sweater, as well as his Quidditch robes. Now I'm pretty sure that we could make him fly. His right hand grips the broom, which is nice. There we go. Turn his head and look that way at the crowd as he's flying by. But let's take a look at Harry Potter and his Nimbus 2000. Very similar to Draco's structure. I'm assuming that, again, this is the same mold, but with different costumes on. We have Harry in his Gryffindor robes, Gryffindor sweater, as well as his knee pads and elbow pads, and his Nimbus 2000. I'd give again, they do the little detail of molding Nimbus 2000, the name of the broom on the side, and also Nimbus 2001 on Draco's broom, but they don't paint that little area. I wish that this was gold to really make that stand out. But again, like the Nimbus 2001, it's a nice representation of what the broom looks like. This gives you kind of an idea of what it looks like on the broom. You could use some of the clear rubber bands that are included with these to attach his legs to the broom itself, and then have him catching the golden snitch or something and play around with these a little bit. Well, those are the 8 Mattel dolls that Mattel sent over to the Potter Collector Library to be reviewed. For the most part, again, as I said, for what they are, they really do look similar to the characters. I think that's pretty impressive that they were able to make these little dolls look like the characters. If this is something that you would like to collect for yourself, all of these are still available in store. They're at Walmart and Target, Barnes & Noble. You can purchase them online. So if this is something that you're interested in, I've put some links down below on where you can purchase some of these dolls, or you can check out your local store to see if they have them in stock. Once again, a big thank you to Mattel for sending me these dolls to review for you guys. My favorites are the Quidditch Harry and Draco. I love that they came out with this design and also released the broomsticks as well with the 2 characters. Let me know in the comments below which one of these are your favorites. If you've purchased them for your collection, how you display them. Do you play with them? Do you take them out of the packages? I know a lot of collectors don't take things out of packaging, and I get a lot of questions about that sometimes, and my answer is that I think it depends on the collectible. I don't necessarily see these being valuable in the future because I'm sure millions were made. For example, some of the older action figures that are from 2001, those are probably good to keep in the packaging. But these in particular, honestly don't think that you have to worry about keeping them in the packaging. If you really want to play with them and display them, I think you're pretty safe to take them out. Now, I have a little bit of a surprise for you. I have a sealed McGonagall doll for one of you guys. If you want to enter this international shipping included giveaway, check out the description down below on how to enter. If you have any questions about Harry Potter collecting, or anything else, please feel free to leave a comment down below. You can also reach me on Instagram at The Potter Collector, or you can reach me on Twitter at Potter Collector. It may take me a little while to get back to your comment or your message, but I will do my best to get back to as many of you as possible. Now it's time to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, keep collecting. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, welcome. You can subscribe right up here. You can also look at some previously posted content down here. If you have any questions about Harry Potter books or collecting, please feel free to contact me. I'm always happy to help. But for now, I must go. See you next time.
Whoa, where'd he go?